Hi everyone. So, welcome to the behind the scenes of the production of Spilt. I'm just going to be running through each individual track and how we produced it, how it all came together well, not in the studio, but on the computer, on the virtual studio. So, let's go. So first, we've got a little bit the guitar riff, the opening guitar riff for 7 seconds, and then we've actually got some organ and bass. I found that when putting it together, organ is very useful if you want to sort of pad out a sound if it feels a bit too empty. You just play it like that, and you don't hear it in the actual thing, but it just sounds better. And then we go into the first verse with the guitar and the vocals here.
Spilt my heart on your bedroom floor. Asked you if you wanted any more.
Quieter vocals to begin with. It's when I wrote the song a while ago, it was sort of, I was thinking kind of, if any of you know Homesick by Catfish and the Bottlemen, it was kind of meant to be like that, sort of quiet and then loud. I think in this, obviously we improved on the initial song massively with everyone involved, but I think it's still got elements of that. And then of course we've got the drums. Brilliant sort of rhythm, brilliant rhythm from Brian there, because it's a strange rhythm, it's a tricky one, but he really smashes it out the park. And then after that, so we'll just return to the whole song with that verse.
I was just in love with you to see.
The next thing I want to address is the bass in the chorus, because oftentimes with bass in songs you don't hear it that much. It's sort of on the low end, kind of like the organ actually at the beginning. It's sort of just there, and without it, it sounds different. But I think we just got to, if we listen here, just at the bass on the chorus right here. It's brilliant bass line from Alex. Fantastic, because it sort of weaves, and it's like, oh, and you don't sort of realise that when you listen to the whole thing. Here's the whole thing. So you can just hear it subtly, and it really gives movement to the chorus, doesn't it? That's amazing. I love that. And the vocals as well. Actually, I'll just go back to the beginning of the chorus, and we'll have a look at the vocals, because they're slightly different going into the chorus as well. What I actually did was I changed them in the first verse. They're sort of airy, they're classed as airy vocals, and then for the second, not for the second verse, the chorus, coming into the chorus, I put filtered delay on them, so they sound a lot more distant. The verse sounds closer and kind of softer, but for the chorus it sort of went back and you could hear it louder. So here's that change.
I was just too in love with you to see.
And then change.
I watch my love for you fizzing at the bottom of a beer bottle. I know if I wanted to, I could be the one to lose it.
And that's something again that you don't quite notice when you're just listening to the whole track. That sort of, it sounds really distant, but I think with all the instrumentation, it makes it feel bigger, I suppose. And also, we've actually got some Hector. We put some distortion on that, and it's playing really aggressively distorted guitar on the chorus, and that just all adds to it. That adds to the, so here's that aggressive guitar with the whole thing. Like you don't hear it when you're just listening, and it's still there, and you isolate it and it's still there. That's, I think that's something we were pretty pleased about. And it just keeps playing. Keeps playing through. But then, with the end of the chorus, I think the thing with this song is the bass. Alex really, he pulled out all the stops on this. So here's the sort of the riff after the chorus. I love that bass line, it's kind of funk in it. Really adds to the song. Amazing. Alex is a fantastic bassist. But we've also got that distortion, that lead guitar back again as well. But this time, it's on that riff. So here's that. And it just gives that grit. It's not the original. The original guitar that Hector sent was a bit calmer. But obviously here's the original. And that's perfect for the chorus when it's building up. But then just put that little bit of distortion on it on Hector's guitar, and it really amazing. It shines through brilliantly. And then we've got the drums as well from I think it's the end of the verse. Hang on, let's just check this. Yeah, here we are. The drums from the end of the verse. I'm just isolating them. Brian's got really good groove, really great, fantastic groove on there. He knows exactly what he's playing. And some of those drum fills as well. I love listening to them. I could listen to them all day. Honestly, I could. The next one is quite an interesting element of it actually, and I don't know how many of you guys actually noticed, but I'm just going to play the beginning of the second verse and see if you can hear what I'm about to say. Okay, so here we are. Did you hear that? It's subtle, but I think every new verse you want to have something different. Every new element, there's got to be a change, otherwise it's just the same verse again. And that might work with Mr. Brightside, but that's not what we wanted to do. So coming into the second verse, I've got two things playing on synthesizer. One's called Astral Keys, and one is called Ghost Piano, and they sound like this. And I promise, once you hear it, you won't be able to unhear it. It's just that, just there. And then you hear it again, and it's you can hear it, but it just gives that new, a sort of fresh sound to the verse that wasn't, because that wasn't in the beginning one, because that was kind of slower. And also with the second verse there's actually an acoustic guitar that plays as well. If I can find it. Yeah, here we are. So you might not hear this either, but again, it just adds that kind of fresh sound. Just a bit of layering as well, And hearing that all together, you can kind of hear it in the background. Just sort of, it just gives that layering, and it really, to me, it adds a bit of, something new into the mix. And then, the verse continues like that. You've got all the guitars playing. And then about 1:20, I'll just isolate the vocals because we've actually got some vocal harmonies, which are quite enjoyable to listen to if I do say so myself.
She told me it was just a vacation to watch my love for you.
Going through the chorus as well.
Again, if I wanted to.
It's just adding that new element of that new sound to each respective section, whether it's a verse or a chorus. We've got the synthesizer and the acoustic guitar in the verse, and then in the chorus it's harmonies, and it really, it's just sort of making sure everything's fresh for the listener. And then from where are we? Hang on, got to find it. Again, you got to listen to this bass right here. It's amazing. It just flows. Really fantastic bass guitar from Alex there. And then we got our dear old Hector on lead guitar from, whereabouts are we? So it's just here. And sorry, I'm just finding it where he is. So again, he's just strumming through that. Yeah. And then, honestly, Hector, amazing lead guitarist. Brilliant. It's a stunning guitar solo. I can listen to it all day, honestly. And there's something you might be able to hear. I'll actually isolate it for you so you can hear it. Is I added some screams in the background. It's quite kind of a Rolling Stones thing, I think. I think Mick Jagger did that occasionally, but isolated, it does sound very strange. You know, it's just me shouting from across the room, but it sounds awful like that. But adding the guitar solo, actually no, we'll just add everything and see if you can hear it. And it just, I don't know, it adds that sort of raw live element to it that obviously when you're recording things at different ends of the country, it's difficult to get. Yeah, that solo, really, that's a great solo. I love it. And then of course, we got to address the bass in the room as well, with Mr. Alex Evans at it again. Oh, he does some drives sometimes, sort of changing the rhythm, just pushing along, and it really, really amazing stuff. Then we got the vocals. We've actually, in the vocals for the final chorus, we've actually got some. There are different elements. I recorded a sort of quieter bit that sort of it shouts through. Basically, you can hear it for sure.
And watch my love for you, fizzing at the bottom of a beer bottle. Know if I wanted to.
It just shouts through, and it's that newness in the sound. It's something that the listener hasn't heard in the previous choruses. And it's just it was fun to do as well. So why not do it? You see. And then the final thing that we're just going to have a listen to today is the drums going out of the song, because bloody hell, Brian smashes it. He really does. He knows exactly. Well, I've said it before. He knows exactly what he's doing on these drums. Like, where are we going to play it from? I'll play it from here. Just have a listen, right? I'm just going to let it play. Those rolls, absolutely amazing. And then it's that funky beat. It's such a sort of jam. Like it moves. The drums move, and that whole thing. If you've got those drums moving underneath the chorus every time, it joins it together, it holds it together, because it just grooves along, and then it goes out, and then just two guitars ending on a bit of distortion there. But it's, I think we quite enjoyed recording that, and it was a pleasure to put the bits together, because the other three, they're just absolutely amazing at what they do. And they did brilliant. They played brilliantly on it. So yeah, that was the production breakdown of Spilt. So hope you enjoyed that, and have a great day.